right, let's do it. Here's a look at the first half highlights. Panthers have it at the 19. Stewart's going to cough up the football here. Offense on the field now after the fumble. Keithley's able to zero in on the QB here. This one ends up as a loss of 6. Now following the fumble, Williams has got the catch here. This goes for a touchdown. We're brand new at 7. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to Arlington for the start of the second half.
Okay, thank you, Larry. A low-scoring affair, all even, as we ready for this second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. There he goes, left side. The 40, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. Their dangerous wide receiver with a return of 102 yards. And the Cowboys are in for 6.
We've sat in a lot of meetings, and they always talk about the offense taking advantage of beginning a half. But special teams coaches don't listen to that. They want to take advantage with their own unit, and they just did.
Yeah, they trailed in the locker rooms, and they changed that immediately.
I think they drew that one up special. That felt like something he pulled out of his pocket that he'd been holding for a while, and they were able to use it effectively.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And the Cowboys defense, they march back out onto the field. They look good in the first half. They'll be looking to carry that momentum over into half number 2.
Finish a game the way you started it. That's typically the message at halftime when things are going well. You've done everything you're expected to do. How about a little bit more of that in the second half? But be aware, it may throw something different at you to begin things.
Yeah, 50% of the equation still left to go.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
That one goes for 36 yards.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What are you saying? I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. They go back to Stewart on first. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. First half showed us some pretty good offense. tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Second down following the run. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Really excellent job there of just going up and getting it.
Brandon, I'm a defender. I shouldn't be this excited, but what a play by the receiver downfield to elevate and make the catch.
Come on, let's get round.
This is Elliott. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2nd down and 4. They're going to look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled? So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guys' jersey clean throughout the game.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's brought down after a good gain. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Come on, let's go.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Let's go. 1-9.
Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Watch left. Tight end to the left. Let's go. Flex round.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. His pass caught at the 4. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Des Bryant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have broken the tie. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And his kick is right through. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. And to the tight end Olsen, right side. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. He gets it to Brown, complete. The 13 yards that time and a 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So after the mistake by the offense, it cost him 5 yards, and now 1st and 15. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. And now we're all even. Brand new ball game, tie game.
In a sense, you're starting over. Tie ball game, everyone's back to even, back to equal. A good job getting back in it.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is taken at the 3. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run with Elliott. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
10th carry now for Elliott. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
But we just saw him run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times out of 10, and in this case, they did it really successfully.
Now Prescott throwing middle, and it's complete. And able to... And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 2nd down now after the pass completion. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On the counter, Elliott. And he will loot. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Here's Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now hang on here, timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey. This for the lead in the final stages. And Bailey able to knock it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so, but this was not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Carolina getting set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Stewart is the lone setback. Back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Still back there. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Credit the tackle to Kurt Coleman. And he's back here in the struggle department in this one like he was a week ago. And, partner, I think you can pin some of this on that O-line. The room to run, just not there.
You mentioned last week that it felt like the offensive line was getting beaten to the punch by the guys across the ball.
Well, it was pretty evident, I thought.
I mean, they were off the ball fast, penetrating, getting into the offensive backfield, really spilling a lot of runs before they got started. So I thought your observation was spot on then, and you're right there again this week. Same thing is happening, not able to get started because they're not able to control the point of attack.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.
Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul right now. Give me what you got, oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got, oh, 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 oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight, just as long as you're there in the freak of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Can I get an amen when the night ends? There's no winner when you're walking alone, sliding down the last street.